talking about the care of the teeth.
We are in a center specialized for disabled children situated in Santa Northwest region. Here, about 70 boarders interact every day. They have a common characteristic, which is disability. Disability, either physical, psychological, mental, hard of hearing, or dumb. Among them is one with a particular case.
My name is Mariam Ali. I come from CEFED Special Education School Center. Call me by my name and not by my disability.
Mariam Ali, though mentally normal, was born without 4 limbs. Like any other child, Mariam Ali has right to education. That is why she is in the Center for Empowerment of Females with Disabilities, CEFED.
This center was created in 2004, in September 2004, and we started with 4 kids. Mariam came in the 2nd year. My motivation came from the fact that I had a disability at the age of 12, and my parents gave me love and supported me to go to school, and I overcame. And while in a rehab center for surgery, I met many kids with disabilities who were abandoned, they didn't have education. And the passion started developing to reach out with the love and comfort that God gave me through my parents to other children with disabilities.
For 5 years in CEFED, Mariam has followed a regular school curriculum. She has had adequate education for her level.
3 centimeters times, which is squared centimeters.
The dexterity of her legs has covered her disability and equally enables her to compete with other children. Mariam's class, Primary 5, is made up of pupils with different impairments. The hard at hearing and dumb, and the rest with different physical disabilities, all who are mentally normal. So, they follow a regular school curriculum, but with accommodations that suit their kind of impairment. Thus, some can ride best only when on a special chair, and Mariam can ride or film best when sitting on a table with a support on her back.
The teacher didn't understand that it was just to design a good table and to train her how to use her leg in writing, which was needed for her. We realized that she needed a corset to hold the upper part of her abdomen, which helps her at night when she's sleeping to stretch the upper part of her body, and then in the morning we remove it, because we realized that as she was growing for these 5 years, she was bending more and more, and the hunch behind her back was growing more. So that helps to stretch her and stretch her abdomen so that she can breathe well. And then in the morning, we remove it from her.
The center empowers teachers on special principles and practices to enable them handle normal children together with disabled children in inclusive schools.
The main objective of Center for Empowerment of Females with Disability is to take Christ's love to people with disabilities through a home and a school for kids with disabilities, as you can find here. We have kids with multiple disabilities, as you can see. One child who is hard of speaking and is physically challenged. We have kids who are mentally retarded. And then we have most slow learners who are physically challenged and they are slow learners. And we have a section for deaf children, and that's why we're empowering our teachers on skills on how to work with kids who have communicative problems and who are deaf.
What could have caused this malformation? Science certainly has an explanation.
We cannot really point the finger to say what caused it, because about 50% of these cases, the cause is not really known. And for some 10% of cases, the cause can be genetic, like some chromosome malformations, or some genes which have problems. In about 50% of cases, there are environmental factors which are very common in our environment, which we can really point out, like HIV, for example, syphilis, varicella. We also have physical factors like X-rays, exposure to X-rays. We have hyperthermia, even exposure to excess heat during pregnancy can cause these problems. We have chemical factors like drugs. Even a drug like valproic acid, which is used to treat epilepsy, can cause malformations like that. We have hormones, alcohol, and even diabetes. Some women are pregnant with diabetes and they don't even know they have diabetes. They can cause this malformation. For the case of Mariama, her own is called amelia, that is absence of limbs. And some children can have complete absence of limbs, which are more common in the upper limb than the lower limbs, like in the case of Mariama.
At the birth of Mariamu, the joy and high expectations of Mr. and Mrs. Ali Hassan to have a baby disappeared. They wished the birth would have been a dream.
So how the people they here and then people them from Bingo.
The story went far. Many people came to see the child, including a doctor from the Mbingo Baptist Hospital. I asked him whether artificial hands could be put.
They will make a hand or something like that.
They said the place shut.
The doctor said it was not possible.
No, nothing for them.
They cannot place prosthesis on Mariama because this malformation started a long time when the pregnancy was just about 3 to 8 weeks old. So the organs that had to be formed around the arm were not formed. So there is no link between the arm and the spinal cord or the brain, which controls the function of that area. So putting an arm, a prosthesis there will have no function, because you're not able to move the prosthesis and it will be of no use. But now in modern science, even though it has been banned or that's still struggling, there's still a fight to see if they can legalize stem cell research. Because the researchers believe that if these abnormalities are discovered early, that is before 18 weeks of pregnancy, stem cell research, which has been banned unfortunately, can be taken and placed inside the child, inside the womb, and it can develop to form an arm. But unfortunately, that is still not acceptable now by the laws. And all what we have to do now is to support these children socially. So medical-wise, there's nothing that can be done for a case like Mariama now.
It had happened. Whether Salamatu and Ali Hassan were happy or not, as the days passed, their baby was growing mentally and in size, but without hands. Her first movement, as the mother noticed, was to take the leg towards the mouth.
She was crawling with her buttocks. I did not train her. She started all by herself. She refused that I should not feed her. She started eating by herself.
When she had no arms and she needed to support herself, all human beings have that need to be autonomous, to work on themselves. So she had to start forcing her legs to do those things that normal people cannot do.
Given Mariamu's handicap, it was very difficult for the parents to take care of her education when she came of school age. One good day, an official from the Delegation of Social Affairs came to their aid.
We put her for the Islamic school for Sabga.
We first of all enrolled her in the Islamic school Sabga. After some time, an official of the Ministry of Social Affairs came and informed us of a special school in Santa that could better take care of her. And so we took her there, where she is till now, in class 5.
There will be a problem because
We had problems because here the government school in Sabga is far, so it was not easy for Mariamu. She was studying among normal children and so was not comfortable. Meanwhile, in Santa, she's with other disabled children.
and they get special people the way they take care for them.
I got in contact with Mariamu through the social welfare. Social worker had identified Mariamu's family, and they realized that she couldn't really have effective education where she was, and so they did what we call a social placement with CEFED.
Mariamu was placed in Santa by the Regional Service of Social Affairs. Mariamu's case has become a case special to our minister. If she thinks of any person with disability in the Northwest, Mariamu comes first in her mind. There was an occasion organized during the celebration of I think it was the 18th anniversary of the Chantal Biya Serac women, and 30 children had to come from the different regions. And I want to tell you that Mariamu was the first child that the minister recognized during that occasion, that she spent most of the time conversing with her and telling her how bright her future is. I think that the ministry certainly has done something for Mariamu and is planning to do so much for Mariamu in the nearby future.
As is always the case, it is very challenging for parents, particularly those of a disabled child, to allow that child go and stay elsewhere.
Sister, unawaka fine.
When Mariamu had to go and stay in CEFED, it was not very easy for the parents, particularly the mother.
One will be decide for taking for Santa.
It was not easy when I took her to Santa. The day I took her there, I was not able to eat because I was feeling bad. The whole night, I could not sleep. When I visited her, I realized that she was well taken care of.
If you read, so I will be very happy.
Now it is a new page. The center has transformed Mariamu into someone who can manage her disability. The family now finds their child a new person as she has become more open. During holidays, she interacts better with others. The skills she has acquired has enabled her to be more responsible and caring. She accompanies the mother in domestic work, and the younger sister has good times with her. Mariamu's condition was such that the parents needed some external force and technical skill to manage the situation. By fate or luck, CEFED stepped in with its expertise to help develop the skill she was born with. That is, using legs in place of hands. She is now better able to write and do many things with her legs. This has not only transformed her socially, but also pedagogically.
When she came at the age of 6, she was so timid, and she was not completely independent. But now, when she came, we had to train her, and she can be able to brush her teeth. She can take her bath with very little assistance. She can use the toilets by herself with very little assistance. She can make her bed without assistance.
The Cameroon government, through the Ministry of Social Affairs, provides some assistance for people with disabilities like Mariamu.
Actually, the policy of the Ministry of Social Affairs now is aimed at rendering the persons with disabilities to become contributors in development, agents of development, no longer dependents all through their lives, but make them to be independent and also contribute towards development. So before they give assistance now, it must be studied and proven that if that assistance is given, it will help that person to end up being independent in the future. And one of the first things they try to check on is the education of the persons with disabilities, because with their minds open, they can do quite a lot.
Disability in the Northwest is real, and Mariamu is not alone. There are other people in the society with various impairments, some supported by other government, society, or family members, while others are abandoned. Whatever the case, according to the United Nations Charter on Human Rights, all are equal, whether able or disabled.
If some person they way get that kind picking.
I am encouraging all who have disabled children to take good care of them, educate them, show love to the child, because it is God's gift.
I think that will fit there.
The first appeal I'm going to make is to the whole public, the whole society, to change attitude and stigmas towards persons with disabilities, because they have something to offer. They have gifts, they are made in God's image and likeness, and we have to give them equal educational opportunity, equal employment opportunity. And I'm calling on all those in Cameroon to give attention to the 1,900,000 persons with disabilities in Cameroon.
I'm appealing to the public that when we have these children, we should not hide them behind. We should bring them out, because there is a lot for them to do, and there's a lot for them to contribute towards the development of our country. When we hide them, we make them dependent for the rest of life.
Mariamu's parents have gone all this far. The task ahead is difficult.
Any person who has an advice for me concerning the child can do so. I welcome any help from well-wishers and government.
I am appealing to offer scholarship to Mariamu.
The center here, we need the support of the public. We need more beds, we need to feed the kids, they need books. We are calling on the government to give scholarships to our kids in this school, to give us subvention so that we might be able to do more for the kids. We're going to town, we need a bus to carry all the children. We need the participation of all social groups to just make a stop at Santa and put a smile on the face of one child with a disability. No gift is too small to make a difference in somebody's life.
To improve the condition of handicapped persons, needs material for therapy, technical skill, means for logistics and movement. All this which are not easy to come by. So the means in itself is a handicap. The important thing is that every human being, no matter the degree of handicap, has some talents buried somewhere in him or her. This gift just needs to be identified, developed, and exploited for the benefit of the concerned and the society.